Excellent. Okay, so we are in record mode. So I want to welcome each of you guys here to our Start Rebels Zoom Room virtual meeting. This is a call that we have every Sunday night. We represent Start Canada, and the Start group is typically individuals in the age group of 18 to 35, but we do have some, I call them graduates on this call. Some of us that are here to support our Start team members, as well for all of us to, learn more, be able to share our stories, learn each other's stories, really get connected. The purpose of this call is so that Canada-wide and beyond, the Start people you guys can really plug into each other. We can plug into each other, figure out what events are going on. So if you have people in different regions, different cities, different provinces, you know that we are all here in the one team mentality to support each other and support your people. So just know that you're here in a safe place to learn, to share, to grow, and to build your confidence and your belief so that you can truly get out there and spread the gift of Isagenix. So thank you all for being dedicated and coming on this call. We've been running this call for, I forget, I keep saying the weeks every week. I think we're on 9 or 10 or something like that. But basically since February, since after New Year's kickoff. And I think we've all had some great, response, some great feedback from where it's gone and where it's going. We do have a YouTube channel, Start Canada. It's a little bit tricky to find it, but if you look up Start Canada or Rebels Zoom Room, you will see it. And you can please encourage people to subscribe, because the more subscribers we get on that YouTube channel, the easier it will be to find it. And all the calls I record, put the recordings there, so you can share them with your people coming in, all right? So they don't miss out on anything. We've had some incredible people share incredible stuff on the calls. There's been tons of great learning, and there's lots more to come as we move on through the coming months. So super excited you guys are here. So big gratitude to each and every one of you. And just as a preempt, we want to just do the disclaimer. I won't post it on the screen, but we represent Isagenix Canada. Isagenix is a health and wellness company, and we offer solutions for people for energy and performance, weight management, healthy aging, as well as wealth creation. We make no claims to treat, cure, prevent, or diagnose any illness or disease, but as you'll hear in the call here, people are going to share their journeys and their experiences. That's dependent on each individual person. So we make no claims as to what can happen for you, how fast, from a financial perspective or from a health perspective, but the reality is you'll get out of it what you put into it, and amazing things can happen when we treat our bodies really well and when we do incredible things to grow ourselves and grow our businesses. So that's what we're here. That's what we're all about. So I want to, again, just welcome you all and thank you all for being here. So we have, as far as events coming up, we've got a big event coming up this weekend. And I know how many of you guys are going to UIA in Toronto with Dave Wood? Whoop, whoop. Awesome. So if you haven't had the opportunity to spend some time with David, Mr. Wood is an incredible speaker, trainer, presenter, and you leave there, changed to a cellular level, because it's a really incredible weekend. And to be there with teammates is fantastic. And even if you're just in your beginning stages, I was just saying that my very first big event was a University in Action 5 years ago, and I was my team. So, since then it's changed a lot, and it doesn't matter. Go on your own, go with teammates. Regardless, you'll be able to take so much away and be able to pass that and pay that forward to the people in your life. So it'll be an incredible event. Come with all your snacks prepped and ready to go. It'll be full on. It's a busy weekend. It's a long weekend, but it'll be fantastic. There's tons of great events going on right now, so I'm just going to encourage you to keep your eyes open in the Start Canada page. Post your events, even if it's launch parties, in-homes, that kind of thing, but you're willing to, open up and share with other people. More and more is starting to happen there. The Start Canada group is really growing, which is really amazing. And I do encourage you to post there as well as in the big Start group so that we can continue to share what's going on and what, Start Canada is doing, because we are truly expanding at a pretty rapid rate, so it's fantastic. I think there's nothing else that I wanted to mention from that perspective, but if you guys have any other announcements or anything that you wanted to share, just know that this is what it's about. So either raise your hand or put a notice in the chat, and we'll all work together to keep an eye on the chat. But I want to get into the meat of the call. So we have two incredible people here who have been a part of the START community and have been building their businesses for a few years now. We've all gotten to know each other and got very close. The first person I'm going to introduce is a man who not only has he decided that this is important for himself, his wife, their two beautiful children, and baby 3 on the way, but he has really, really done a gigantic transformation with his own physical body, which she has been able to inspire thousands of people around the globe, being, sort of crowned as an honorable mention, but soon to be, we're looking forward to him being IsaBody finalist and champion. Whoop, whoop. So on that note, we have Jason Snider, and Jason is a math teacher extraordinaire. He is also a gym teacher, I'm not sure at the present, but has been in the past. And, the reality is that Jason and Sarah, his lovely wife Sarah, who's sitting there beside him, they completely embody and represent, what Isagenix is about as far as, helping transform the lives of people and families. And, they walk their talk. They are a one-team mentality. If you ever reach out and you need anything, I'm getting choked up because they will help you with whatever it is that you require, and expect nothing in return. And they definitely are on a mission to change their own, the own map of their own family, as well as that of many other people, in their lives. They're both enthusiasts about traveling, really learning about different people, different cultures around the globe, and truly making a difference in a big scheme, in the big scheme of things. So on that note, Jason is going to share some information with us about how to incorporate the Isoline Pro and Isopro, share some tidbits on that, so get your pens and paper ready. And he's also going to share his amazing transformation story, which you can keep in the back of your mind if you have someone that may resonate with Jay's story. So one other thing I just want to say is that, we in Isagenix, you're going to come to know, those of you that are new, is that we are like a chosen family. And, sometimes we have a family that we don't always resonate with. Sometimes our families don't really get what we're doing. But the beautiful thing is that we've really partnered with each other, and some of it has happened sort of, through luck. But I would say that Jay and Sarah are like my Isa brother and sister, and I'm just so, so grateful, as I know that you that know them close feel the same way, to be partnered with them. And you guys have been such a huge support of this call and of this movement, and I'm so grateful. So I'm going to pass it over to you, Jay. You guys give it up for Jason. Whoop, whoop. Awesome. Are you muted?
I just unmuted
myself. You're speechless.
Well, yeah, that too. Thank you so much, Tinya, for that warm introduction. Can everyone hear me okay? Put your thumbs up if you can hear me. All right, awesome. Tinya is honestly, she is like a sister to me. She basically took me under her wing, and I did a lot of those early on berry start things with her, and I've really stepped up my leadership as a result of Tinya. So just thank you to you, Tinya, for organizing this, because I've grown so much as a leader just because of you. So I appreciate everything that you do. So in terms of my story, I was introduced to Isagenix through Sarah, who was introduced to fitness classes. So Sarah is a personal trainer, and she does a mommy and baby fitness program here in Newmarket, Aurora. And she was, this woman was saying, I'm going to start doing these shake things. And Sarah's like, right away, we're both kin grads from McMaster, and said, don't do it. And you should be eating whole foods, yada, yada, yada. And she got some great results on these shakes. And then Sarah's like, okay, let me look into this a little bit more. And the truth of the matter was, Sarah was kind of struggling for energy at that time. She was pregnant with our son at the time. And we had a 1.5-year-old, I guess, at that point, daughter. So her energy wasn't where it needed to be. So she started doing some of the shakes. Being pregnant, she couldn't do the cleanse. So she voluntold me to do my first nutritional cleanse, January 2013. And basically, I haven't looked back. I was 190 pounds at that time. I've gone on to lose about 40 pounds of fat, and then put on close to 20 pounds of muscle. So I'm halfway back to where I started from, but it's more muscle now than what it was. It was a completely different shape. So no, I love the products. I'm a little bit of a product monster right now. Yeah, yeah, we don't make a lot of money because I eat a lot of our profits. But no, honestly, the more I put these products into my body, the more my body changes. And you find that you'll find your favorites, but you put these products to the test, and I guarantee you'll get great results. You really just have to put them in there and let them do their magic. So So I'm gonna start talking about Isoline Pro versus Isopro, and a lot of people confuse these ones, and partially because of the name, they forget that little lean part in the middle. So the biggest difference between Isoline Pro and Isopro is that Isoline Pro is a full meal replacement versus Isopro is just a supplemental protein. So a lot of times if you go to like a generic store and you buy like just a whey protein concentrate or what, well, you wouldn't get that. You get an isolate if you went to a store. So those big tubs are just whey protein, and that's kind of similar to what Isopro is. It's just a whey protein supplement. And the history of how things came about, when we first started Isagenix, not we, but the company was founded, there was just isoline shakes. And the combination of carbs to protein in an isoline shake is 50-50. So it's a 50-50 ratio. And that was great to start off with. But certain people have different protein requirements. Athletes obviously are going to need more protein in their diet. Aging population needs a little bit more protein. And the research out there is showing that a higher protein diet is more beneficial to preventing sarcopenia, which is the breakdown of muscle as you age. So they came out with Isopro, which is just their supplemental protein. And then that was great. So people were just adding it in, having a little bit more protein throughout the day. It's great. But then people said, okay, well, what if we take this Isopro and I take 1 scoop of Isopro and I mix 1.5 scoops of the Isoline and create a brand new shake. So they came up with Isoline Pro, and because people were doing that, they packaged that and they gave you this nice little guy right here in a nice little packet, the Isoline Pro. So here's my Isopro. This is pure protein, comes in chocolate or vanilla, and fantastic. Versus this, which is the full meal replacement, has all of like those healthy fats, everything else, all the minerals and everything is added into this, which makes it a full meal replacement. So when would you use Isopro or Isoline Pro? My personal opinion on it is I use Isoline Pro pretty much exclusively. I like Isopro pre-workout sometimes. I'll use Isopro pre-workout because it's fast absorbing. It's going to get in there. It's going to give you those branched chain amino acids into your bloodstream before you start working out. And then I use the Isoline Pro post-workout. I think because after a workout you're depleting a lot of your glycogen and your carbohydrates, it's good to have the Isoline Pro that has those extra carbs in it. The ratio in that is 60-40 carbs or protein to carbs. So there's 60-40 protein to carb ratio. And I like having some carbs in a shake post-workout because you're going to be replacing all the carbohydrates and the glycogen stores that you've lost in your muscle. So Bedtime Belly Buster, that's the one that a lot of people are doing. And getting like that quick absorbing protein in your system right before bed helps stimulate fat loss through the night, and it's great to do that. As well, you can add this to your baking. So if you're making any kind of like cookies or anything like that, great thing to supplement anything, adding protein into it. Add it into a bowl of oatmeal, add it into kind of whatever, really, just to get that boost of protein throughout your day. Versus the Isoline Pro. So the Isoline, again, post-workout, it's my favorite time to use it. Athletes who have higher protein requirements, great option right there. And then aging population. So anyone who's like getting up there and their muscles starting to break down, just bumping up their protein is a good idea. And the last thing is anyone who is kind of in a weight loss plateau, if they've just been using Isoline, and they're stuck and they're still trying to get some more results losing weight, that's when you might want to switch them over to the Isoline Pro, and they'll start to see a difference. Just bumping up your protein can actually set the ball rolling again in terms of weight loss. So That's some of the differences between Isoline Pro and Isopro. I'm emphasizing the Isoline Pro when I say it. And then this guy comes in, this is my favorite, the natural vanilla. It comes in the French vanilla and as well in chocolate. They don't have all of the flavors for the Isoline Pro, unfortunately, but you can always mix it with like one of your other. So we've got the pina colada here shake still kicking around. So I've made I've made Isoline Pro in a pina colada. So you take 1.5 scoops of your regular shake of this guy, so the Isopro, and then you've got this. There you go. And that's the budget way of getting this.
Fantastic.
Cool.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. That was good information. I cut out a little bit there. I wondered if Sarah, can you share a little bit about, are you using the Isoline Pro yourself? We've got expecting mama whose baby is due. When's baby due? July?
Yeah, 8 more weeks.
So can you share with us a little bit about what you're doing with, are you using the Isoline Pro and the Isopro? Because I know you're very active and I know you're still exercising. So I'd love to hear a little bit, so people on the call can learn about that with expecting moms.
Sure. They're both perfectly safe. I tend not to use the Isoline Pro. I just find it's a little bit too much protein right now in my system. And digestion's moving a little bit slower than I would like. So I tend to stick with just the Isoline shake in the morning. I have 2 of those a day typically, along with 2 other meals and 2 other snacks. And the Isopro is great. Just in the evening, sometimes I feel myself I'm looking for something to nosh on, right? But I need something, but I don't want to have something sit in my stomach. And like I said, it's sluggish, so I don't want to have some big thing of food sitting there. So having a BBB just before bed or something is still great to have and kind of keeps me going through the night so I don't wake up at 2 and eat Cheerios.
Angry.
That's what I would typically do. I wake up and I pee and then I go eat something. So, but they're absolutely great to have. And whether you're exercising or not, the other thing that I find some people as well, they just have really, really healthy appetites. That extra little bit of protein can get them satisfied. So we know that we don't have cookie cutter programs. So looking at each person, and if they are feeling a little bit peckish or just that a shake alone is not filling them up, by all means, recommending a higher protein is pretty amazing for them.
I saw Scott in the chat. You said explain BBB. So BBB is the Bedtime Belly Buster. And that's basically, it's getting the whey protein right before bed. So it's going to be the Isopro. So one of these guys, either chocolate or vanilla. My vanilla I just finished earlier this week. So you're going to have that with either greens, fruits, or a little bit of replenish. So you want a little bit of carbohydrate and then mixed with just the protein there. That's a 9-to-1 ratio. There is a tiny bit of carbs in here. So people that are cutting for competitions and stuff like that are a little bit insane about their carbohydrate intake, they're going to love this because it's very, very few carbs. But the BBB is just, you're doing either greens, fruits, or a little bit of, I guess it's now called hydrate, and this right before bed. And you can do 1 scoop, you can do 2 scoops, you can do 1.5, kind of depending on your protein requirements for the day. I was doing when I'm working out hard, I'll do one of these before bed every night because it's great to space your protein throughout the day, and getting this before bed is fantastic. And then you wake up in the morning, and I always worked out in the morning. So, yeah.
Awesome. Oh.
Can't have dairy. We've got dairy-free shakes. I would like to see them come out with a pure protein supplement that's dairy-free. We don't have it quite yet. So that's probably something coming down the pipe.
Mm-hmm. So Scott's asking, how would you integrate? Oh, so integrate the weight, the dairy-free shakes?
Yeah, so I guess my question is, somebody's coming in who can't have dairy, so they're plant-based only. We know we have 3 varieties of plant-based shake. What would you suggest for them? They're going to the gym, they're working out. How would you time that? What would you suggest?
The problem is they come in packets, right? So that's the issue right there, is that hard and they're kind of a bigger guy that wants to put on lean muscle, I would say do one shake immediately post-workout, then an hour later do another one of the dairy-free shakes. And I think that's going to get some more protein closer to your workout, and then spreading out your third one kind of midday or something like that. Until they have like a pure plant-based protein kind of equivalent to Isopro, you're kind of stuck just doing a full meal replacement. So,
yeah, but also don't forget about other plant-based sources of protein, right? There's no reason you can't throw in chia seeds to your shake. So that immediately gives them a really good boost. You get a bit more fiber as well, and those omegas and everything they're getting from that. So it doesn't have to strictly be Isagenix, only Isagenix and nothing else. So allow them to, find some other good plant-based sources and add it in there.
And also, just to touch on that, I had a conversation with Paul Beyondich. Did a 3-way call with him yesterday with one of my teammates who's a figure competitor, and she was saying that she does have some challenges with the whey sometimes. So, and she will pull it out, especially pre-comp. And he says, well, if you're having trouble with it anytime, then it's probably best, not to have it typically anyways. And so he said you would just use the dairy-free just as you would the other shakes. And he said, but don't forget about the amped line. So recover and, the power, the amp power before. And because he talked about, that for increasing lean muscle and recovery and all of that as well. So like you said, Sarah, don't forget about, the other options as well. And there's some great calls. He just posted another great call. That one wasn't ISA specific, but we do have a recording. If you look up worklesslivemore.podomatic.com, he did a great interview with Kevin Barnum, and he went through the whole ant line start to finish. So, and he talks about Isopro there too. So fantastic. Okay. Thank you for the question, Scott. It's a good point. We want to make sure that we can accommodate everybody. And Jason, thank you so much for your information on that. We definitely know you've been walking your talk. You've had great experience with it. So if anyone can be sharing on that, it's you. And thanks for your 2 bits there too, Mummy. Sarah, sitting beside him. All right, so I have the pleasure of introducing our next speaker. So Christy Shaver is a woman who I've got to know for probably the last 3 or 4 years. I don't know, seems like I've known her forever. But she is a mama to 2 beautiful girls, Nova and Luna, and her incredible husband, who is a huge support, Morgan. I just love him. They're such a great little family. And Kristie, I'm not going to sit here and read her bio because she's going to share her story with you. But one of the things I love about Kristie is she's just one of these people that she just gets shit done. Excuse my French. She's just one of those people that is willing to do whatever it takes. She has done every job under the sun. You name it, she's done it. She's done it because she's, that's what's required. If you're going to move forward in your life, you're just going to do stuff and get it done. So she's applied to Isagenix, and she's built a phenomenal team, an incredible business. We go through growing pains on this journey, and she's come through them like a champ. And so she is going to take us through some skills building tips and information as to what she's done with regards to follow-up and closing. So how to get people started in a way that's not weird, crazy, uncomfortable, but just let it flow. Just be you and let it flow. And if anyone can share information with us about that, it is this amazing woman, my ISA sister, Christy Shaver. Over to you, babe.
You are so sweet. Can you hear me okay? Because I had to switch to my cell phone audio. Cool. Amazing. Thank you so much for that. I could just join these calls all day long if I get to hear amazing things like that. Thank you. So I did start with Isagenix 3 years ago, and it was purely for the products. I wanted nothing to do with even talking to people about, anything to get products paid for. And it all just happened to be an amazing product transformation that allowed me to open up, feeling the best I've ever felt and having that energy again. This is where I decided that I was too cheap to pay for my products forever. So I was going to talk to as many people as possible so I could get them, literally forever. I was never going without them again. And so as I started to talk to people, I was still progressing through my first, couple of weeks and getting results and inviting friends. And at this point, I was working 3 jobs. My husband laughs at me because, we'll still drive somewhere and I'll be like, oh, I used to work there. And he's like, honestly, I don't even know who you are. I've had so many jobs, guys. The funniest one recently, he found out I was an odor audit, where I would drive around and smell the air for a rendering plant. So like I really like knew how to earn $1, right? I was like, I'll do anything. So when Isagenix came around and I started to get these amazing results, I was telling people and they were telling people, and that's when I started to get paid. And I knew nothing. Like, I mean, I was straight ignorance on fire where, you know, my best friend said, is this a pyramid scheme? And I'm like, oh my God, I think it is. It's so great, right? Like I knew nothing. And so as I started to get paid, I started to open my eyes to what this opportunity really was. And that's when I got on a call, kind of like this one, but we didn't have like Zoom at the time. And I was talking to Janie Snellgrove. I said, what do I do? Like, this money is crazy. This opportunity is crazy. And she said, you've got to get to an event. And so when I went to the event, I started to learn about things. So with what I'm talking to you guys about tonight, I will tell you, like I'm embarrassed at the way I approached people 3 years ago. I just recently sent someone a message to wish them a happy birthday. And the message I had sent before was like my message inviting them to Isagenix 3 years ago. And I was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. So before I even wish them happy birthday, I straight up apologized profusely. I was like, no wonder you didn't get back to me. Anyways, so now they're open to a call, but I have learned my lesson, right? So let me just open up my notes here. So when it comes to getting your friends and your family on board with a system or a line of products, it's very unlikely that it's going to take just one conversation to do so. Does it happen? Yes, of course. It happens, but it's so rare that that happens. So we have to get really strong in the areas of following up and closing. So when we start our journeys, we make a couple of lists. The first one has everybody you know. Anybody who breathes and has feet and a heartbeat, they are on your list. The second list is your top 10 or 20 ideal business partners. So let's start with the connection that you make when you're looking to invite someone to look at our products. So being that many of our connections are through Facebook or social media, I'll always get excited about their message and thank them for their time first. So it'll be like, hey, Jason, thank you so much for messaging me about this. I'm so glad that you felt, compelled to message me since seeing my before and after pictures. I'm really grateful for that. And I'd love to help you out with some information. When are you available to have a quick call? And I always tell people, and especially because I have kids now, but I'll say a quick 10-minute call is far more effective than us trying to Facebook each other for 72 hours, right? So I always try to get them on the call first. So once we've chatted on the phone and I've gotten a list of their goals, their struggles, anything else that they have to tell me, I ask them what type of information they prefer to receive from me. So I'll say, do you want to watch a quick video or do you prefer reading information? And this will also give me a great idea as to how they'd like to have information given in the future. So, if they like to see a video, then later on, if I come up with something that it may be a new video, the new Canada video, I'll say, hey, I thought you'd love to see this, right? So hold on, give me 1 second here. I just lost my spot because I talk too much. So once they tell me, I ask them when a good time is to follow up. And I'll say, is Tuesday okay? And I get them to give me an answer back so I can schedule them. So I'm always setting that next appointment, no matter what. It's always like, so when are you free for that? Monday or Tuesday? When do you want to chat about this? Tuesday or Wednesday, right? So many times we're so focused on the new contacts, right? We feel like we haven't enrolled anyone in a while, or we want to build our team by enrolling new people. So we're so focused on the new that we're not actually doing any follow-up unless that person writes us back, right? So we learn that at the events to commit to a certain number per day when we're doing this business, and it's 5 days a week. So if it's the number 1, then you're committing to connecting with one new person, following up with one, and pouring greatness into one person per day. If it's 3, it's 3. If it's 5, it's 5, right? But when you're writing down your daily activity and it says, today, new, Jason, followed up, Anne, poured greatness into Jen, then you also write in your book, follow up with Jason, on Tuesday, because you spoke to him and Tuesday is that day. So it really is up to you to follow up. And coming from a former sponsor monster, I straight up talk to people and drop them. I don't even know how people joined my team at the beginning. I do not know what happened, but I really just, hence that message that I sent someone to wish them a happy birthday. I hadn't messaged them in 3 years because I expected that people wanted what I had and they would come to me. But I've learned that that's not the case. That's not how you do it. So once Tuesday comes around and you connect with Jason again, I ask what he loved about the information I sent over. So I don't say, what did you think? But instead I get them to tell me what intrigued them, what excited them about it. So as you discuss more about the products that can help him reach his goals, I like to say, ideally, when do you want to get started with your system? On Monday? And then when he gives me an answer, I'll say, okay, great. So that means we want to order your system by tonight, so it arrives in time for your start date. So let's get started with just a little bit of the basic information I need. So throughout that entire conversation, they're like, oh, so I'm ordering today. This is happening. This is happening right now. I always presume that they're signing up no matter what. I don't ever assume it's not the right time because they just got laid off or that it's too much money for that same reason. A part of this business is the positive thoughts that you have in your head and the way that those thoughts translate into building your business. So sometimes we've got people saying that they need to think about it, or they need to talk to their spouse, or save their money, or whatever the case is. So that's when I'll also, that's where we can go over the typical objections and we can schedule the appointment, and it's simple. So one of my favorites is, I'm going to talk to my spouse. So sometimes we have really amazing spouses who are very, very understanding, very supportive, and some are very skeptical, which is normal, and that's okay. So what I usually say for that is I say, talk to your spouse, and I'd also like to set up an appointment to follow up with you, but it'd be really great if I could give you a call and your spouse was there. Because a lot of the times, I found that the spouse is just being skeptical because they worry that we're going to get bamboozled into something. Like it's just like a too good to be true situation or something like that. So I do always invite the spouse to join in on the call so that I can answer their questions. And I let them know that their feelings are totally valid. So for the other people, I write down on my list, I write down obviously like everybody I'm talking to, but then I write the date that I've reached out to them. So that way, sometimes like when you're working through the pockets of your time, you can quickly browse and say, okay, this person wanted me to follow up, in the spring or in a few weeks or in a while, right? I'll just go through and send a quick message saying, hey, it's the beginning of June. I've got another challenge that's starting actually June 15th. We're doing an Isabody challenge. I just wanted to put that word out there and see if it might be the right time for you. But then I'll always ask them a question that they are to answer me back, right? So in the meantime, while I'm thinking about you, as an example, where did you get that, porch swing? I don't know, just to get them to answer me back so we can start a conversation, right? So I'll go through my list, at the beginning of every month, the end of every month, anytime I start a new Isabody challenge, anytime there's a big event coming up, that's when I'll reach out again and say, hey, I was thinking So the business opportunity, I was babbling my way through this for quite some time, as obviously you guys know now. And it wasn't until the Red and White event in Toronto that something changed. I went to the one in Vancouver and it was amazing, but it was when I went to Toronto after that, and I spent so much time pouring greatness into people to help them see their true potential. When they were like, yeah, I'll do the business. No, I'm gone for weeks. Oh, maybe no, literally not even answering their phone, right? So when I was at Red and White, David Wood said, sometimes it's easier to give birth than resurrect the dead. And I was like, oh my God, that's exactly it. So I decided, and I know that people always say this, but I felt it in that moment. I decided, and I was like sick to my stomach, so excited that I was on a mission to create 10 six-figure friends in the next 3 years. And I am not stopping until that happens. So there in my seat, I'm messaging these people who are on my ideal business partner list, but I'm too scared to talk to them, la, la, la. And I sat there and I started to connect with them. But I kind of did an invitation with a follow-up in the same way. So when I got home, I rewrote my list. It was like 400 people. And there I cut it down to my ideal business partner. It's an example of what I wrote to them. So, hey, Lindsay, I know we've briefly chatted about the opportunity to work together in the past. And actually, I'm laughing because as I look back on our messages, I certainly did throw out a ton of words to tell you about what I was doing. But I realize now that I didn't give you a proper invitation. So what I've just realized while sitting here at an event in Toronto is that my mission has become very clear. I'm on a mission to XYZ. And the reason I'm reaching out to you specifically is because I admire ABC about you. Would you have just 10 minutes with an open mind and an open heart for me on Tuesday or Wednesday so I can properly invite you to hear about the mission that that you deserve to be invited to? So that's where, when I did that to 30 people, I had 25 people write back and say, yes, they would give me 10 minutes of their time. And I'm like, oh my God, all I had to ask was for their time, because what do we love to do as human beings? We love to help people. We love it when people are like, I need a favor. Can you help me with something? We're like, yes, what is it? What can I do for you? Right? So when I say, I would love it if you could just give me 10 minutes of your time and just open your heart and open your mind to the invitation, and we can see if it's a match for you. And then they're like, well, shit, now I can't say no because that makes me look like an a-hole. So they've done it, and it's been really, really working. So follow-up is, I can't remember the exact numbers that we were talking about before, but it really does take like 4 to 10 follow-ups before someone says yes. And I know on my side of things, if somebody invites me to something and my life gets busy and I forget to follow up and I say, or I forgot to answer, and I'm like, okay, it's cool, I'll just wait till they follow up with me. And if they don't, then I assume that they're not serious, and then I don't care anymore. Right? And it's the same thing with this product. If I wanted this product bad enough, but it wasn't the right time for me, and you guys didn't follow up with me, I would just look for somebody else who seems to be dedicated to it. Because it is all about them. It is not about us making a sale. That is gross. It is about me finding out that somebody wants the energy to play with their kids because they've got 20 pounds to lose. They feel awful about themselves. They literally lay on the couch and like drag a car around the ground because they can't even sit up to play with their kids. So when I'm closing, I just rub salt in the wound, very lightly. So I'll be like, I understand that you want to talk to your spouse. And of course, it's very important. I admire that about your relationship. But when you're ready to lose that 20 pounds that you said is so important to you because you want to have that energy to play with your kids, that's when I'm here to coach you and be your partner 100% through this, right? So I'm going to follow up with you because I think that this is very important, and I know that you want this bad enough. And I want you to talk to your spouse, and we're going to work something out together to get you started to get on those goals, right? So it's like, oh my God, it's burning. Like, she knows my goals. Now I have to start. So that's where I close. I just remind them of what they want. And when you're talking to them and you're pulling it out of them, how badly they want this and what that means to them, it's their why. And at the end, when they're like, I don't know if it's the right time for me. And I'm like, oh, I understand. And we're just sort of going back to what they want. So that's my close. And I hope that is helpful. And I hope that I spoke fast enough because I know it's getting late. But do you guys have any questions that I could answer for you?
If you guys have any questions or thoughts or comments for Kristie, feel free to go ahead and do a shout out now. You can post them in the chat as well. And
amazing. Kristie, you're amazing. Thank you for sharing tons of notes, page full, and yeah, it's great. I just wanted to, just comment that one thing for new people is to always have the follow-up appointment when you leave, no matter what stage you're at. You can be on that 4th, 5th follow-up. It's like, when are we chatting next? When do we want to follow up next on this? When can you watch the video? When can we get back to you? It's like you're constantly setting the next appointment. So love that. Thanks for the reminders. They're great.
Awesome.
Fantastic. And Kristie, they did ask if you could post the wording. You can just remove the personal stuff, but if you could post the basic wording so they could either tweak it to have it be their own, but if you don't mind if they borrow that.
Let me do that right now. I'll put that in the chat, and if anybody needs it after, you guys can always message me.
Perfect. That would be fantastic. Okay. All right, you guys. Well, thank you, Kristie. That I know the people have been making comments in the chat about how valuable that was. I've got like 2 pages of notes, so definitely, you know, so valuable. And I love, you know, like you said, it's like 4 to 10, and most yeses are going to come after the 4th or 5th follow-up. So if we're only doing 1 or 2, we're missing the boat on like 70% of people that are going to say yes. So it's so crucial. And I know I just love the way that you're just so natural. It's so comfortable. And you're making it about them. And that's really what this is about, you guys. It's about those relationships and connecting and making it about them. So fantastic. Thanks, hon.
My pleasure.
All right. I'm going to call back Jason. And Jason is going to share some great information with us about building your belief in network marketing. So when we have spent some time with David Wood, or you've spent some time listening on some of the team calls, a lot of the talk is about these building the belief in the 6 different areas. And that's something we've focused on in the past calls. And so tonight is no exception. So Jason's going to share with us some of the things that he's done to really build his belief in the profession of network marketing. So Jason, I'll pass it over to you, my friend.
All right, I'm back on. Everyone can hear me okay? Yeah, awesome. Kristie, you are a tough act to follow, I must say. So thank you for like to meet her. She is like on fire. She is a light. She's amazing. She's incredible. And I'm so passionate and so thankful that you are a friend of mine. So thank you for everything that you do. Okay. In terms of building belief in network marketing, I've got a question. How many of you are on this call right now? How many of you were introduced to Isagenix by somebody? Does network marketing work? I could just drop the mic and just like walk off right now. Like seriously, network marketing works because you've been recruited into network marketing because somebody shared network marketing with you. Like that's literally it, right? Like it works because people talk to you, and we all talk. We refer products to people. We refer that are not network marketing. Word of mouth is the best way of getting a product or a service to people, because we don't care what the TV says that we should buy. We care what our friends have had success with. Like honestly, if there's commercial after commercial after commercial on the TV, I'm probably more likely to go and ask somebody and then get their opinion on it before I make a decision for something like a major purchase, whether it's a car or whether it's something like that, right? So we're more likely to value the opinions of others, and that's what network marketing is. It's fantastic, right? A few ways that you can build belief in network marketing. I've got 4 that I just wanted to briefly talk about. Number 1 is reading and videos and / audios. So one of my favorite ones is The 4-Year Career. I have it on audio that I listen to in the car. I have it in paper. I've read it probably 3 or 4 times. Fantastic. If you want to build your belief in network marketing, this is a quick read by Richard Bliss Brooke. Fantastic. And he basically walks through how you can build a network marketing business and just the mechanics of it, like the math behind it and everything like that. I love this book, and featured in the back is our own Pam and Kevin Barnum. So they're in this book. It's fantastic. Another great resource is by Robert Kiyosaki. And again, Business of the 21st Century. I have it in audio and I have it in paper. And listened to this several times in the car on my commute back and forth. Read this 2-3 times probably. When we first got started, didn't really know who Kiyosaki was, but when you look at his credentials and what he's done in terms of business in general, and getting his endorsement on network marketing and why he thinks it's a great way of doing business, that right there is enough for me. And there's tons of quotes in here too. He quotes a lot of different people in terms of what they network marketing as well. Is the Flip-Flop CEO. This one is by Janie Finney, Lori Muirhead, and Whitney Roberts. I believe they are they were with Arbonne. So sometimes it's nice to get a spin from somebody else. And it's, again, another book about how network marketing works. Fantastic. Quick, easy read. Look, Scott's got all the same books. Awesome, Scott. That one I don't have on audio, so unfortunately I can't listen to that one on my car rides. But reading or audio is fantastic. It's just going to like get into your head, and you're going to believe that this is something that works, right? The other one that's fantastic in terms of a video, if you haven't got it, our copy is lent out to someone right now, is The Rise of the Entrepreneur. And that's the video that was put out by Eric Worre. If you have not seen that video and you're a little bit shaky as to, is this like network marketing thing actually going to work for me? Is this like a legitimate business? You need to see that video. The Rise of the Entrepreneur by Eric Worre. That one, like, it's just going to lay it out. This is the best option to do business. And the way the trends are going in like the 21st century, everyone is going to be shifting to this kind of a model. You can see like the writing's on the wall right now in terms of businesses that are shutting down and going online. You need to have an online based business, and people are going to be like, their jobs are going to be cut. They're going to reduce their hours. The writing's on the wall. So it's awesome that we have this opportunity. So that's reading and videos audio slash videos. The next thing is talking to other people. Talk to other people that are in network marketing. And and as an analogy, if you were going to go into medicine, you wanted to go to med school, you wanted to be a doctor, would you talk to someone who works at McDonald's, who's getting minimum wage, or would you talk to someone who's graduated med school and already is a doctor? So who would you choose, right? And like a lot of people get their opinions swayed by people that are ignorant. So someone like might say, oh, is that network marketing? I'm like, yeah, hell yeah, it's network marketing, because network marketing is awesome, because I can make money and from home consuming a product that I absolutely love and I'm passionate about, and help other people transform their bodies, transform their lives. Like, why wouldn't I be excited about this, right? And a lot of people just, someone had, like, for whatever reason, they have a story that they've been told about network marketing and they've got an opinion about it. Talk to people that are successful in network marketing. Every single person that's successful in network marketing, teach your mouth. Every person that's successful in it is going to be passionate about it. They're going to say, yeah, it's awesome. I love it. I love the time freedom. I love this. I love this. I love this. They're going to give you, like, they're going to say there are some struggles. They're going to tell you like the ups and downs. But talk to people in other companies, and they're going to say all the struggles of like building a business in network marketing, they far outweigh anything of like working for 40, 50 years at a job that you maybe like, maybe don't like. Talk to people that are successful in network marketing, and that's a great way to build your belief in the industry. The third and probably most important thing is attending events. And I can tell you right now, complete shift. When we made the decision, Sarah made the decision saying, you're going to Celebration, because she had just had Joel, and she's like, you need to go to Celebration. And being there, and I can see Brianne's on the call, and just like being surrounded by her, Tinya, everyone that was there at that time, and Paige, and getting to know some of these people, and seeing 10,000 plus people all in a venue that are all doing network marketing. It's like, yeah, you can do this. Like, anyone can do this. And you need to get to a major event. A destination event is where things start to shift in terms of your mindset around the industry. So just going to a Super Saturday, yeah, that's great. It's a good first step, but you need to get to a major corporate event where you're going like on a plane to get there. It's just a big difference doing that. And then the last thing that I want to talk about in terms of building belief in network marketing is the mathematics behind it, because I am a math teacher, and it really is the law of averages. It really is mathematically. When I looked at this and I really thought about it, and I looked about, okay, well, I talked to 10 people and I follow up with them and I try to like get like the information out to them. And so what if 9 or so of them say no? If one of them says yes, great. Then I've got someone that's in my organization now. And if they make orders month after month after month after month, I'm benefiting from that volume going through my organization. So then you just like extrapolate it over the course of a year, extrapolate that over the course, well, first of all, over a week, over a month, over like a year, over 2-3 years. And you think about those people doing the same thing. And it doesn't have to be a business builder. Like our team, we don't have a ton of really massive business builders in our team, but our team has grown exponentially with the and the geometric progression of network marketing. It's like how people, if you don't have a math mind, I forgive you, it's okay. I just want you to know from a person that does have an analytical math mind, when I looked at it and I understood it and I really understood it, it was like, we're doing this. Like, why wouldn't we do this? Like it just makes so much sense. And the fact that they're paying us on multiple orders, levels deep, unlimited depth, this is the company. This is the company, and like drop the mic, it's done. Like, this is it. Over. Done.
That's awesome. Thank you, Jason. Yeah, and I saw that Amy posted there, no math minds here. And I agree, because I love math now. I like it now, because when I was like making money when I didn't even understand why, and I'm phoning the company asking them why they're giving me bonuses that I don't understand. And I realize that it's because I'm helping people and helping them help people. You know, it doesn't take too long to get too excited about wanting to understand more about the numbers, you know, and so that's incredible. So thank you. And, you know, great resources. So I tried to post as many of those as I could in the chat. Some of you are familiar with those. And even if you have read them or listened to them, as Jason said, sometimes you listen and you hear what you need to hear when you need to hear it. So even if you've read a book, you may not have picked up, you know, too much out of it, or maybe you picked up a few things, but we shift and grow all the time. So it never hurts to just give a listen. And, you know, the universe, when the student is ready, the teacher shows up, pardon the pun, because we got Jason here, but, you know, you'll really take some really incredible stuff from that. So on that note, does anyone, I'll just open it up. I know we've gone really late, and I really appreciate you guys sticking around, but I really feel that it's obviously been of great value because you're all still here. We're going to do our group photo, which is our traditional selfie shot, but also just wanted to say, is there any other thoughts or comments or anything you guys wanted to share before we sign off the call here? Feel free to open up your mic and go for it.
After.
Do you want to see her belly?
Yes.
It's bigger than his guns.
Yeah, let's see the baby. There's the baby. Whoa, it looks like it's dropping a little bit.
Oh, God, I can only hope. Okay. No, what I just wanted to share as well, last week I went down in Toronto at another event, and Les Brown was speaking at it. He wasn't in there in person, but one thing they did mention, when people talk to you about all these businesses going online, I've seen some negativity on Facebook. People are like, what about our jobs? I'm like, you guys are just, you're missing the wave. But one stat they pulled out was Amazon.ca. So this is the Canadian site, right? Not the American site. Dominates Canadian commerce with 8. These are massive, massive numbers. And when Jay was mentioning as well, just some sites and some books and reading ways that you can build your own belief, keep in mind too that there's a lot of really great websites. So for women, Savvy Network Women, what it's called, SavvyNetworkMarketingWomen.com is Sonia Stringer's site. Pam Barnum has been on that a number of times, as well as Eric Worre's Go Pro site is really great. Just Google those. Even if it isn't something that you find really speaks to you, like maybe as a guy, you're kind of like, what do I need to know this women's site for? For all the women in your team, maybe that is what they're going to really jive with. So kind of keep that in mind, the same way we're the START community, but other people, the START overs, they have come in and sort of said like, great, where can I plug my young people into? Here's a great resource for them. So sometimes I know when we're at events, you look at trainers on stage and you're like, how did they get to be where they're at? Like, how did they get to be so good? You know, there's also know where to direct them to.
Fantastic. Yeah. Anything else, you guys? Okay.
Could I throw out one just a quick tip? I had a little bit of an aha moment about a week and a half ago, and I think it was really powerful. I'm like, okay, we need to train on this quickly. So I'll give you the goodie. So I was connecting with them on Zoom about getting started, and she asked me this great question. I'd gone through packs and pricing and everything. She's like, Scott, she's like, if you were me, what would you do? And I was like, that is a great question. So I used that opportunity. I'm like, if I were you, I would start today. And here's why. And I walked her through. I'd start today because you need to eat tomorrow. We've got the promo on, whatever. The box arrives by Monday. I'm like, I would get to an event. I would read the box. I would go through the manual. I would watch the videos. I would look at our business opportunity. I would be coachable. I would be open. I'm going through all this stuff that I would be if I was like the ideal, like what would you do if you were me? And I'm like, I would start on the best pack. And then I did a couple three-way calls last week, and I used the same line. I kind of forced the question out with people, and I just thought it was a great way to be able to get the story out. I'm like, listen, so I've shared a lot, but here's the thing. If I were you, here's what I would do. And it gives you the opportunity to like give them the goods. I would look at the whole thing and like really truly paint the picture. So sorry, it's a little off topic, but I just love it. I'm integrating it in all conversations now as kind of like a call to action close with, if I were you, here's what I would do. And then they can take it or leave it. Anyway, just wanted to share that.
That is fantastic. Thank you for sharing that. I love that. And that's very, we're taught to, again, keep it about them, incorporate that NLP, which means it's, suggestive languaging, a positive suggested languaging. That's amazing. Thank you, Scott.
I would practice that story. Like your 30-second story that you practice your, if I were you, here's what I would do. And guide them through from product to getting to an event, to coming to celebration, to like seeing the big picture. Mm-hmm. Get that story like solid so that you could sum that up in 2 or 3 minutes of what you would do if they were you. That kind of leaves them with like this powerful call to action.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. Awesome. Okay. Thank you. Okay, you guys, we're going to do our group picture. So those of you that have your video hidden, don't feel that you have to come out of hiding, but if you would like to, we would love to get a picture with you in it. Let's see if I remember how to do this here. Oh, I did it. There we go. Okay, are you guys ready? Ready. 1, 2, 3. Awesome. Okay, let's do one more. All right, here we go. You guys ready? Okay, got it. You guys rock. Thank you so much for your time. Appreciate it. Thanks for sticking around to the end. I will post a recording tonight so that you can share it with your people. Kristie and Jason, you guys give it up for them. How amazing was that information? So much that we could use immediately. You guys are amazing. Sincere thanks. Okay, love you all. Have a great night.
See you guys. Take